Good morning, trading world. It is July 15th, 2022, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the SPY. The financial sector is squarely in focus as earnings continue to come out. Yesterday we kicked off with JPMorgan Chase and Morgan Stanley, which both underperformed estimates. This morning we look towards Wells Fargo, Citi, BlackRock, US Bank Corp, and the one that isn't in the financial sector, United Healthcare. One thing to remember is during COVID, banks put aside this slush fund. It's called loan provisions to cushion write-offs from loan losses that they were expecting during the lockdowns. The Fed pretty much stepped up and saved everyone, so there were not nearly the loan losses banks thought. So these billions they put aside were written in as profits last year. Now, banks are starting to put aside this loan loss provision fund again, and I expect this to eat away at some profits, but it, more than anything, definitely says rocky times ahead, if you ask me. Now, today's trade, if bonds can continue to stay range bound between 141 down to 139, this could be a good sign for tech to continue its rally. And now if the financial sector can manage to level off and not sell off more beyond the pre-market levels, this rally could gain some steam during today's session. We could see some retracement today, but as long as financials hold on, we could continue to grind up. Today is a big expiration, and we do still have almost 4 points of movement expected today in the SPY. That brings us to key levels of the day. All right, and here we are with the key levels of the day. Starting on the resistance side, we have our jack resistance at 379 to the 380 area. This is going to take a couple times. We've already had, one or two times of testing this area and rejecting. So maybe another test, rejection, and then the next test should be a breakthrough on this 379 380 area. Then we have our queen resistance area 381 to the 383, and then king resistance 384 to the 386 area. On the support side, we have our jack support at 378 to the 377 area, then queen support 376 to the 375 area, and then king support 374 to the 371 area. The thesis for today. The main thesis is bearish, closing below the 377.91 with a projected target low of between 377 and 371. The alternate thesis, which is bullish, closing above the 377.91 with a projected target high of between 380 and 386. Right now, I'm starting to look more favorable on the alternate thesis. And just remember, when everybody is facing one way, it makes that alternate thesis that much more explosive. So the longer we can hang in the 379 to 381 area, it gives us the strength to break above, and we'll be headed to at least the 385 area. The current main channel we are in is 379 down to the 364 area, and the next major channel above is 379 all the way to 397. With that being said, let's take a look at the situations or the scenarios of the day. All right, our first scenario is our expansive range day structure. We could look to set a decision area, low boundary around either the jack or queen support area, and then chopping back up for a good portion of the day from there. So that's our expansive range day structure, which gives us a little time to come back and cross and close below the previous close represented by the blue line for a bit before coming back and closing above it. Let's bring up the next scenario. All right, our second most probable scenario is our rounded reversal day type structure. And for some reason, my drawing program is acting up. I can't get the arrow to sit on top of the drawings, but here we go. We could get a continued push lower toward the jack or queen support area and find our midday chop either around the queen or king support area before coming up with the same energy the second half of the day back up. So that's our rounded reversal day structure, and be aware that we do have a vice versa, which could see us do something like this, where we continue up off the cash open and find our midday chop around either the queen or king's resistance area, and then see our way back down with the same amount of force that we came up with in the morning. That's our rounded reversal day type structure. Now, our last scenario is our trend day up. We could open gap up, start with a fade back toward the previous close represented by the blue line. We find support on or before that previous close. Once we find our support on or before that previous close, we then begin the uptrend for the morning, better known as our golden window of trade. We'll find our midday chop either around the possible queen or king resistance area, and it'll be interesting to see how the second half of the day plays out, whether this head fake actually fades out and we get a fade going into the close, or this head fake is not really a head fake and we continue up into the close. I do want to say, because of earnings, there is a vice versa alert on the trend day, because we have a lot of earnings before pre-market. And since we have earnings before pre-market, if there's a lot said as far as guidance or numbers being missed more than the expected, this could actually turn into our trend day down day structure, where we would, let me get the right drawing up, we would actually continue down before the cash open and we would get a rally or pop back toward the previous close and find resistance on or before that previous close, making our golden window a downtrend at that point. We will find our midday chop somewhere between our queen and king support area, and it'll be interesting to see whether the head fake continues lower or we get the pop back into the close. So that's something to be prepared for, because these news events or data drops, there's no telling which way things could head from there. So be very careful on that. But I do think we've kind of found a temporary bottom for this leg. We may revisit it once more, but it's possible that we're kind of building that temporary bottom right now for this first leg of this structural bear market that we're in. And like I said, I am looking for a decent size, or actually strong bear market rally to happen between now and August, giving us ample area and time to re-up on shorts going into September. Before I close out today, I want to let you all know that I will be starting summer vacation on the next week, so there may not be any pre-market outlooks going all the way through. I'm planning on vacationing all the way through till August. From next week, let me see. Yeah, starting on the 18th all the way to basically the 31st. So it'd be good to get away, recharge for a bit, and hopefully I can come back fresh and have some new things for us to explore. As always, please know and understand your risk. To me, your primary job as a trader is to protect the capital that you have, and we do that by understanding risk. With that being said, as always, wishing you a positive trading day. Have a great one.